Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
That's right. It is showtime. It is The Brink of Sanity. Some episodes.
Episode number 120.
No, you're wrong.
I'm shocked because I just guessed.
138.
138? Where has the time gone?
Wasted.
Wasted.
Wasted away.
The show has started, and we are about to start not being funny.
Mark's on the show again.
Again.
Like I said, I'm just going to stop saying you're on the show because you're always on the show.
For those people that are looking for other guest hosts, too bad. If you like the other guest host better, too bad.
Leon's been traveling the world. He'll be back next week finally, so we'll probably get some Leon and maybe get that list he's been teasing for about 8.5 months. Maybe he'll actually read it.
List?
Yeah, he said he was putting together a douchebag list, and I think he was up to 30 douchebags, types of douchebags.
Did he just write our name in like different lettering order?
I think we've had almost 30 people on the show, so that's probably the list. He was waiting for me to get like one new guest host.
He's up to number 30, yeah. Let me start. The douchebag list, well, there's number 1 is Jay. There's Mark, probably ties for number 1. Then there...
He just goes in order of appearance on the show, so I guess Bri would be the number 2 douchebag, and you would be the number 3.
Yeah. Was this a list of douchebags for work or for the show?
It was for the show, so I don't know. Maybe we'll hear it soon.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, 631-676-1181 is the number. You can call in live, or you can use it as a voicemail, and I won't delete the next voicemail we get.
We were supposed to have a third guest host today, so if the guest host is listening and wants to dial the number and call us, that'd be helpful.
Yep. Also, we're back on, we're on Ustream, and it has a new Facebook thing, so you can actually watch the show and chat live through Facebook. So if you go to brinkofsanityshow.com, there is a Facebook button, I guess, on the right side, and you can hit the like button, and that'll take you right to the Ustream page when we're live.
Honestly, I'm confused by what you just said. I don't think I could figure it out listening to you.
Was that hard?
I should have actually been listening. I'm not sure actually how to interact with us through Facebook.
brinkofsanityshow.com and click like.
Do you think... So our guest host who's supposed to call in, who hopefully will call in, do you think we're like annoyed that he's not calling in, but do you think something bad could have happened to him? And we're like, gosh darn it, why is he not calling in? We find out he was like in a traffic accident or something.
Well, I mean, last time Bri didn't call in, it turns out like his mom died. He got diabetes and a couple other things. So, hello.
Hello, is this Jason?
Oh my God, it's John.
Yes, am I coming through all right?
You are.
Okay.
Hey, John.
How's it going? Are you live right now?
We are. We
Good.
got Marc and Jon from Random Ass Radio.
Mark, who I was on with last time?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay. Hey, Mark.
I don't think we've talked before, but now we are.
Oh, okay.
Nice to,
all right, great.
Nice to, we're going to start our show with the introductions.
Yeah. So, is Random Ass Radio still happening? What's going on with that?
Yes, Random Ass Radio is still happening. I've told some of your listeners and mine many times. I agreed to make a house payment like 20 years ago, and then I quit making it, and they took my house away. So I moved out to the country, and lo and behold, I can only use, at the moment, satellite internet, which really, it's like fucking smoke signal internet. It's fucking horrible. And Skype does not function properly, hence me calling you on my phone. But Random Ass Radio is getting ready to come back in, and I know this is going to break a lot of people's hearts and hard drives, 1-hour installment that I'm going to pre-record for a while until I find a suitable replacement for my
For those who are not familiar with Random Ass Radio, it was about 4 hours long.
Oh, yeah, marathon. I figure I can still get drunk for 4 hours and do it, and then just break that into 4 fucking shows.
Yeah, just do a show once a month, and it looks like you're all productive, and really you just went on a bender once a month.
Yeah,
You could actually release.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, you can actually release them in 5-hour increments, and you'd have 48 episodes.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I'm gonna jump on the YouTube thing too, because usually about halfway through the show I would be fucking hammered and start bitching about something. So yeah, a 9-minute rant now. I'm gonna start throwing those up on YouTube, and it all hinges on me moving an old gas stove out of my laundry room because that's gonna be my studio and that's my space.
Interesting.
So, there you go. That's a Brink of Sanity exclusive. Spoiler right there, laundry room studio.
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh, I heard that's how McCartney started. Him and the Beatles started recording in a laundry room after they moved out the boiler.
Well, they did, yeah. I don't want to liken myself. Look what it did to Oasis when they did that shit. I'm not saying anything like that.
Yeah.
I will say the Jesus thing. Jesus started out in a laundry room too.
Jesus used to like to launder clothes.
Well, he was trying to build wooden washing machines.
Right. Yeah, basically with the whole bicycle concept, like on Gilligan's Island type of deal.
No
I mean, he wasn't.
No one ever talks about Jesus' woodworking ability. Was he a good carpenter? Like, was he someone that you could rely on to make like straight edges and hang pictures?
I don't know. Kids in the Hall did a skit on that back in the day, and it was, Jesus was actually really a shitty carpenter that let his dad down. And they brought out all sorts of unsquare tables and 4 different size legs and everything else on it. So,
God damn it, Jesus! Can't you even put a nail in the wall? What's wrong with you?
That's actually the true story of Noah. He built a wooden washing machine and it leaked all over Noah's living room. And that was actually the flood. It just, like the telephone game got exaggerated over time.
Yeah, it kind of gets built up. And so, are you fellas drinking this evening?
I am drinking some Clementine vodka.
And I am downing a full glass of H2O.
I am drinking Old Milwaukee.
All right.
And on the top of the can, it reads that it is America's best tasting beer.
Oh, well, that's a big bold-faced lie.
They didn't really have to compete for that, huh? There was no contest.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a board of standards that checks into that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's like one of those claims where you're like, world's best or famous. There's really no, I guess, gauge for that. If one person thinks it's the best.
I liken it to telling people I have the world's biggest dick. I just don't want to hold my dick up next to everybody else's to prove it.
Yeah, you don't want to brag.
Well, that's kind of gay, too. I mean, how many dicks do you stick yours next to before it starts, getting kind of gay?
Yeah.
You should say world's greatest.
Because you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired of doing it. You're going to get lazy with it. You're going to start bumping dicks accidentally, and then it gets real fucking awkward.
Well, we have the world's most downloaded podcast. I just don't want to brag about our numbers.
Yeah, I don't want to compare. I don't want to compare the
sniffing around.
Yeah, I don't want to get taxed on this stuff.
I also just don't want to compare podcast next to podcast. You don't know, you get lazy, the podcasts bump into each other. It gets a little not so straight.
I'm out in my front yard right now, which is basically like a cornfield. And I'm not going to go into a bunch of heavy detail about my current situation at work, which is incredibly insane. But I have I'd say 7 acres here of grass that I was mowing, and I was using a riding mower because I don't have an actual riding mower of my own, and my push mower is broken.
So you live in Boston?
No, I live in Illinois. Yeah, I'm out on the green, man, and I'm squatting.
I'm homeless and I mow Fenway Park.
This is all to paint a picture for folks who are listening to me. My grass is like 8 or 9 inches tall right now because I haven't been able to mow it. And I'm standing out here so everybody in the house doesn't have to listen to me pace around and drunkenly ramble into the phone. And I have like 6 billion fucking bugs crawl. I'm like an Ethiopian kid out here right now with fucking flies going across my eyeballs.
Do you have the bloated stomach, too?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do, but it's not from malnutrition. That's from overnutrition.
Too much Milwaukee's best?
It's old Milwaukee.
Can I ask you a question?
Milwaukee's best is the beast.
I was going to say, can I if you're like an Ethiopian kid, for 45 cents a day, will you send me letters about your progress?
On. Oh, yeah. If you'd like to adopt me, sure.
Yeah, I was thinking about adopting you. The story was getting a little sad, so I figured you might need adopted.
Oh, that would be great. No, the story starts sad here, but they always end up with a happy ending. I think last time I was on, Jason, I had peed on my floor and on my foot quite a bit and had to change my socks because while we were recording, I had to pee and tried to pee into a can. I think that's...
Yeah, that sounds about right. Instead of saying, hey, Jay, can you pause it for a second, you decided to fill up a beer can.
But I couldn't hit them. It was very hard to actually pee in a can.
Yeah.
Everybody's done it in a bottle, but a can is... Ugh.
Well, you get the splashback, don't you?
Yeah, you get... Well, yeah, if you don't get your pee hole right over the can hole just right, and 12 ounces seems like a lot. Like, say you're super drunk and they want you to chug a beer, 12 ounces seems like a gallon, but when you're taking a beer piss into a can, there's hardly any room at all. Oh,
you're peeing back into the beer can.
Well, I didn't have any place else to go. I didn't pee on the floor. Well, I did pee on the floor, but... Yeah.
Aren't you worried about, like, touching the edge? Like, the edges are sharp of the
if I've gotten to the point where I'm sitting in front of a microphone trying to pee into a can, I'm really not thinking things completely through anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that was, like, the number one concern at that point.
I'm going to throw this out there. You're standing looking out at grass that's 9 inches high. Pee into the grass instead of the beer can.
No. That was last show when he had a house.
Yeah.
No.
This was here at the new place, but it was when things were still going well enough that I had a lawnmower to use.
Yeah, if I had a 7-acre yard and not a riding mower, I would have 9-inch grass as well.
I'm trying to teach my dogs to eat grass, but they'll get a good 7 or 8 bites and then just vomit it. So.
You have a 7-acre yard?
Yes.
So basically, like, the earth is almost your yard.
Yes, it is. The earth is my yard. Well, you could bale my yard right now and feed it to livestock.
For those listening in New York City, I feel like Central Park isn't 7 acres.
Actually, I think Central Park is, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it is. I'm in a big what? Yeah, I'm in the. It's the middle of nowhere. I can't even get local channels right now through DirecTV.
Is your closest neighbor in like Ohio?
Yeah, well, you know what? That's actually a good thing, though, because of my proclivity to pee strangely, among other things.
Since we live in New York, we have no concept what 1 acre even is, really. You could just say, like, 1 billion miles. Like, I have no concept of what an acre is.
An acre is about 1,300 something odd feet by 1,300 something odd feet.
Okay, so, like... a huge apartment.
It's not a block, though. I mean, how big is a block? I know 6 blocks is, what, a mile? So, yeah, you know what, roughly that. See, I have a 7 square block yard.
Jesus.
You mean 20 square block yard. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Yeah, it's enough.
I mean, if we have, like, one blade of grass coming out of the concrete in front of our apartment, we call it a yard.
Oh, I'd solve it.
What do you do with all this space? Like, do you what do you do with 13? Like, when you bought the place, were you like, I want the place with 7 acres?
I
6 acres?
I didn't buy it. I rent it. I lost my house. They're not going to sell me another one right off the bat.
I guess that'd be kind of a dumb bank. They'd be like,
Obama's great, but he ain't that fucking great, right? It's not like, well, you lost that house, but hey, here's your little second chance agreement. Go ahead with this one.
You couldn't pay back that loan. How about this one? Okay, what about this one? What about this one?
Here's what I do. Here's what I do right now, and this is real time, folks. This is what I do with this much space. Hold on a second. Get over here! It's my dogs. They don't realize there's boundaries.
He's got to wait for 7 echoes to get to the dog.
And with 9-inch tall grass and 2 dogs, I'm running around out here barefoot too, which is probably not the smartest thing in the world.
7,
No
8.
leash laws or pooper scoopers out here.
So where's your nearest neighbor? How far away?
No, probably about a mile and a half.
That's your nearest neighbor?
That's awesome.
It really
You're
is. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I just can't get good internet, so I can't fucking stream a live show.
I can't imagine
I
how
could.
funny my life would be if my nearest neighbor was a mile away. You could, like, blow shit up and nobody would know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I don't know if I shared it with you over the winter, because, you know, I do tend to drink. And out here I bond with my dogs by peeing with them. Just come outside and let them I'll pee too. And, you know, it makes you part of the pack. But to get my, since DirecTV and shit doesn't even carry the local channels out here, I got a fucking big-ass antenna with a, you know, converter and shit on it. And a big aluminum tower and all that. And that's usually where we go and pee. And, fuck, I was probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 degrees outside, but the wind comes off these fields out here at 30 miles an hour all the time. It's about 30 below wind chill. And I come out to pee with them, so I've just got on a jacket, you know, and I've thrown some boots on my feet, and I'm just going to come out and pee and fucking, and I'm fat, so I just got sweatpants on and shit, right? I'm not like dressed. And while I'm peeing, I fucking stumble forward and fucking stuck my dick to the aluminum tower.
Oh.
With my pee, right? And it's real funny until you fucking do it. And you realize how cold it is, and like, wow, in 30 minutes I could be dead. So,
Were you?
I won't go into the full version of the story, but let's just say it ended with one of the dogs had their tongue stuck to it too. And the last thing my wife said to me after she released me was, "I told you this would happen someday."
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Were you filming scenes for a new teen comedy?
Yeah, that's like American Pie 5.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and also the drunk driving out here is fucking amazing. It's like the world's longest driveway from where I work to my house. And last time I checked, it's not illegal to drink and drive in your driveway either. So.
You're like, actually, I get drunk and go driving and just try to find cars to hit. I can't find them.
But yeah, no shit, man. Well, out here you can go by Dukes of Hazzard rule too. If you can get across the county line and you're being chased by county cops, they can't follow you over that line.
Have you ever
They just
tried
stop.
that?
Yeah. If anybody would like to check here within the next couple days at randomminutesradio.com, I've started a vlog, and that's one of my little stories. Is I did outrun the cops, and they do throw their Mountie hats down and shake their fists, but they can't cross that county line.
I think I'm living in the wrong state.
Do you have a rebel flag on your car?
Oh, come on. If you go north in your state, you have the same fucking people.
Yeah, that's true. There's too much snow, though.
Aren't you, you do live in the state, don't you, or at least on the seaboard, where a man went out and fucking killed 57 of his cows before turning the gun on himself?
Yes, one of my favorite stories.
I
That's
love that,
story
too.
ever. I don't know why that's not going to be made into a movie. That'd be a great movie.
That would be a great movie. I would watch that.
What would you call it?
The investigation afterwards.
Oh, goddamn stupid cows.
A time
No,
to
that
kill
would be
cows.
an awful special victims. Special victims unit investigation. Or what was the one that Leonardo D'Onofrio or whatever was on? Was that special victims? Anybody a Law and Order watcher?
I stopped after like season 14, so I'm about 18 seasons behind.
Because it would be cool to see, it opens up with the morning and the farmer coming out, and it just starts like fucking panned in on his boots, and you see the bottom of the gun swinging with him, and goes out and shoots all the cows, and shoots himself, and then tongue, and it's, they get out there, the cops are swarming all over the place, wondering what the fuck happened.
He just gets up in a pissed off mood, and he gets a boot full of like cow shit.
Oh my God.
Did you bring your top 5, John?
Top 5 things that piss me off?
Yep.
I bet yours are going to be... I
I
bet yours
figured
are
I'd
going
wing
to
it.
be different than mine.
I actually have the Weekend Warriors flying over my house right now. You can't hear that. Brr.
I have no idea what that is.
We don't know what you're talking about.
It's all the Air National Guard, because airplanes don't actually fly over here unless it's Air National Guard, because we're not on any flight path.
Oh, interesting.
But there's a train that runs through my backyard, so that's kind of nice.
By your backyard, you mean like 4 miles away?
Yeah, pretty much. Enough to where you know it's coming through because you'll hear the horn.
Gotcha.
I
Or the
have a
whistle. I
question.
guess trains have a whistle.
If Al Qaeda bombed your house, would your neighbor ever know about it? Like, would there be a noise complaint?
Oh, if Al Qaeda bombed my house, it would be 5 casualties. And then that's it.
They're like, we really didn't figure this thing out.
Yeah. You get more kids killed at prom and fucking drunk driving accidents than if Al Qaeda attacked my house.
They're like, our sequel to 9/11 was a little bit lower budget, so we had to go after one house in Illinois.
Yeah, we have trying to save money now.
We have
We
have 4 M80s and a bottle rocket. What can we do?
But you know how freaked out people would actually be if Al Qaeda crashed 4 planes into John's house. Everyone else would be like, "Oh my God, Al Qaeda really is crazy." We just thought they were crazy, but now we know they're really crazy.
We one of the last shows we did, we got drunk and we were changing popular song lyrics to Allah, and I kind of worried after I went back and listened to it. Because I was also likening words and passages from the Quran that Allah is the homosexual God. And anybody listening to this, Jason, the views expressed by John in no way reflect or are acknowledged by, Jay and the crew. But,
Sure.
If I was going to say anything tonight that I wanted to stick with you kids, is Allah is gay. That's why, he doesn't want anybody to see him.
Let's cut to the chase. I'm DJ, and I do a little something called the Green Light Show. Now, I want you to be a fan of the show, so I'm making you listen to this sample. And these girls, they think, oh, as long as I show off my tits, I'm fat. I'll wear this skin-tight shirt and show off all my tits.
Yeah, I see
That'll
that.
look real good.
I see that a lot, actually, and it's rather disgusting.
And I've heard these girls, they'll say stuff like, well, you're looking.
Yeah, because I want to throw up.
Yeah, just because I'm looking at your enormous exposed tits, that doesn't mean I like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like driving by a car wreck, if I were to see a 6-year-old boy's head smashed and run over by an SUV, just because I can't look away, that doesn't mean I like the way it looks. I went to go see Toy Story 3.
My bad.
I don't mean to spoil the movie for anybody, but Andy dies.
Does he get AIDS?
Andy gets AIDS in Toy Story 3 from a gay orgy. He got drunk. He went up to
at college.
The plot of this is, it shows Andy leaving his parents in the beginning, his mom's house.
Yeah, his single mom.
Where the fuck is Andy's dad?
His mom's a single mom.
So the opening scene is just Andy going, "Mad at you, Mom, fuck off!" And Andy drives off to his college.
Smoking weed.
Andy gets to college, and the first thing, he opens the door to his new apartment. And his roommates, who he's never met, are in there. They go, "Hey, Andy, rub this on your tongue." Andy starts fucking all these dudes. It's a big, giant orgy.
Wow.
It's like gays and lesbos and normals, and they're all just intertwined fucking.
That's weird.
And then Woody shows up, but it's not Woody. It's Andy's dick with a cowboy hat on it. And he goes, "Check out my Woody!" If you like what you hear, head on over to greenlightshow.com. You can find out everything about the show right from the homepage. greenlightshow.com. See you there.
I need a garage door opener for my balls.
What?
What the fuck? I don't like the smell that usually forms down there if I go for a couple days without washing.
I'm proud of you.
It smells like onions wrapped in asshole. What the fuck are we talking about?
Hey, Dad, remember that one time I got that cock stuck in my ass?
He just went over legs and arms. In a truck not too hard to locate, featuring painted images of a peeled banana, the exposed pot shaped like a condom, and a shirtless man saying, "I protect myself." To you.
What kind of fucking question
station is this?
I'm the host of the show, and I get put down on every episode.
I love you, Tim.
John is a man of God.
Shed his precious blood.
Shed his precious blood.
And died.
And died.
Oh, my sin. And now the three guys that taught your mom that thing you like. It's Minor Detail.
MinorDetailPodcast.com.
All right, so you guys want to do top five?
Sure.
Top 5 things that piss us off. All right, I'm winging this one. Go ahead.
Okay.
You guys start.
Jay, you start.
All right. My number 5 is when you call somebody and you say, hey, I'm going out tonight, or just like, hey, you want to meet me at this bar? And they're like, well, who else is going?
Oh,
And I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I just asked you if you wanted to get a drink at the bar. Does it really matter who else is going to be at the bar?
Listen, Jay, I'm not going to go to a bar just to meet you. I want to make sure there's someone else there that's actually want to talk to.
Right, you're like a 6 on the coolness factor. I need at least an 8 for me to show up.
I mean, listen, what they're really asking, Jay, will there be bitches there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Jay, I could just talk to you on the phone. I don't need to like get dressed and go to an actual bar to hang out with you.
Yeah, it just pisses me off. That one's not really great. It's just I felt like I had to add it. They get better from here.
Hey, if it pisses you off, it's supposed to be on the list, right?
Yeah, they get better from here. I started with the weakest one.
Okay, I'll start with my weakest one also. My weakest one is that when people leave dishes in the sink.
Yeah, that is pretty weak, but okay.
When people do what?
Leave dishes in the sink. Mostly former roommates, really. When they leave dishes in the sink and they're like, oh, it was the other roommate who did it. And you're like, okay, great. Now no one's going to clean it up.
I would have roommates that would pile it up so high that you couldn't even turn on the faucet. And then it would like, hey, we can't even use the sink now. You want to wash them? He would squeeze like a half a bottle of dishwasher fluid into the sink and fill the sink totally up with water and say, I need to let it soak. And then he would leave that for about 2 days.
Which becomes a fucking petri dish.
Yeah, exactly. We got mosquitoes flying around and like...
Yeah. Low pecker gnats.
Yeah, that's why I don't have roommates anymore.
Yeah, I had a roommate. He used to do the old I have to soak it trick. And he'd also be like, oh, my stuff's under the other stuff in there. He'd be like, can't you just... Come on.
Yeah.
Just post if it stays here more than a fucking day, I'm going to rub my dick on it. I'm just letting you all know ahead of time.
And it's still not my dish, so you got
and tell them this, you leave it, you're like, listen, you sit everybody down and say, look, not only will I rub my dick on your dirty shit, your glasses and everything else, anything that you touch is fair game. If you're going to leave your filthy ass shit lay around like that, I'm just going to start rubbing my dick on everything that you use without telling you.
Another reason I don't have roommates.
Does that make sure your wife doesn't leave dishes in the sink?
Hey, see, I don't have. See, that's the difference. I have a roommate that I fuck now, so you get some of the same irritations, but there's a little more give and take. She's also my producer, so I can't bat nothing.
Gotcha. She just switched to paper plates.
Yeah. We're.
She's like, no.
Out here in the country, we got wooden spoons and plates, and you ain't want to be rub your dick on that.
You get splinters.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 5?
My number 5, I tell you, my number 5 would be anybody that because something bad in their life happened to them thinks they're fucking special. That really does hurt the shit out of me. Because bad things happen to people all the fucking time to varying degrees. And, it doesn't make you special. Say you try, if you tried to commit suicide in your life, it doesn't make you fucking special. And yet I run into people all the time in real life and on the fucking net, especially on the net, that if you bring up something, if you make mention of something, say, suicide's a pussy way out. It's a coward's way out. You can't face fucking life. Like this whole bullying thing, right? Because a few kids fucking killed themselves and it got press. It doesn't make you special, and yet they're acting like all these kids because they're too pussy to stand up for themselves, or stand up for what they are special, and they're not. Bullies were fucking paid.
Kind of makes you a failure, actually.
Huh?
So are you saying we need to find those survivors of suicide and tell them you are not special, you are nothing?
You don't tell them they're nothing, but they're not fucking special. What makes them special? You're special because you didn't cave in. That does piss me off, because I got pissed off at the whole wear purple for the ones who killed themselves. Fuck that. I'll wear purple for the ones who stood up for themselves and said, look, motherfucker, yes, I am gay. Say what you want. That's different. And that doesn't even make you special. But at least that gives you a set of balls. These fuckers that are crying that you got bullied and this and that. I got bullied. I'm fucking like 2'3" and I weighed 400 pounds in fucking school. And I talk like this. And I got the fucking shit kicked out of me every day. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't go crying on Facebook. I didn't get a presidential fucking committee discussing it about me. And I wasn't fucking special. Because it happened to all the little short fat fucks when I was in school.
That's a great point.
See, I thought you were talking about like someone that like kind of brings it up too much. They're like their terrible thing they went through. Like you're like, oh man, you're like, oh man, work was tough today, and you're like, yeah, work was tough that day. I tried to kill myself, but I survived that.
That's exactly right. Because they think it makes them special. Just if you're gay, and you think being gay makes you special, no, it doesn't. It's just a decision on who you choose to fuck, and guess what? You don't want to see who I'm fucking. You don't want to know who I'm fucking, so I don't want to know who you are. I don't care. It's not special. You're not special. You lost somebody in your life. Guess what? We all fucking die. It happens. You're not special. Anybody who thinks they're special. You have Down syndrome? I don't want to burst any bubbles out there. Down syndrome is not special. All right? MS is not special. It doesn't make you fucking special. It makes you... It makes you somebody who got dealt a shit fucking hand in life, and how you choose to deal with it. I may impart upon you a certain type of specialness, but fuck being special just because something bad happened to you.
I appreciate you knocking off all those people with Down syndrome off their high horses.
Have you ever watched them ride horses? They about break the horse's necks because they got that fucking super Down syndrome strength, and they're fucking gripping, I'm fucking terrified. I've seen them choke a horse out.
That would be an awesome reality show.
I have seen an 8-year-old kid with Down syndrome terrified on a fucking full-grown horse choke it out. You've heard what I said. If chimps ever take over the world and they've got super strength, I'm gonna start doing every fucking drug I can. I'm gonna start drinking beer. I'm gonna start drinking Drano, and I'm gonna try and breed me some Down syndrome babies with my fucked up chemical sperm, so that I've got somebody that I can raise to protect me from the chimps with super strength.
You ever see someone with Down syndrome who's in really good shape?
No, they're all the same fucking shape. They're all shaped like those balloon clowns that you used to punch and they come back up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And if you have, here's what's cool. This is the cool thing about kids with Down syndrome or people with Down syndrome. Everybody else is fucking doing the Macaulay Culkin fucking right now. People with Down syndrome would be fucking laughing about it. Yeah, that's right. Fuck yeah. I'm strong enough to rip you apart like a goddamn gorilla. Go ahead. Keep making jokes. Except they wouldn't say it succinctly.
Did Macaulay Culkin catch Down syndrome? I didn't follow that part.
No. He was making a Home Alone reference.
Okay, sorry.
Although there's so many McCulkins, I wouldn't be surprised if one or two of them had it.
Well, McCulkin's an Irish name, and you know that fucking drunk sperm throws some goddamn... And they all have red hair. I never even thought about that. Maybe it should be McDown syndrome.
An add-on to yours is always also the one-upper, where if you're like, yeah, I broke my arm, and they're always like, well, I broke 2 arms and a leg and my ankle.
Oh, yeah. And that makes me specialer.
I just lost my house. Oh, yeah, my entire family died in 9/11.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so tired. I worked 11 hours today. I worked 17 hours. So what's up?
I'm kind of hungry. I haven't eaten in 2 weeks.
All right, so my number 4 is people who don't pay attention when they're walking and cause awkward situations. Like walking straight into you or walking into traffic. I saw a lady almost get flattened by a car yesterday. And it's almost always because they're texting. I mean, I feel like texting is just ruining society. People think they have the right of way all the time now because they got to send this important text. Like that fountain lady bitch who is suing people because she fell into a fountain because she was texting her birthday.
Whatever happened with that one girl that walked into the fucking open manhole out there?
Oh, I'm sure she sued
was
everybody, and they're raising taxes now because the city had to pay $100 million to her. Oh, a follow-up to that fountain lady story. I don't think we ever covered that. She actually is in jail for evading taxes. So her very Christian interview, she's a criminal.
Basically, the story was she's this fat lady. She walked into a fountain, and like it was at a mall, and somehow the video got leaked onto YouTube, and people were laughing about it, and she got insulted for people laughing.
Even though the video was from about 70 feet away, and you couldn't tell it was her until she went on national TV to cry about it. And John, if you haven't watched this video, you need to watch it about 17 times. Okay.
Yes, very, very, very funny.
Yeah, it is great. She should have just.
But you know what? She thinks she's special.
She does.
I fell in a fountain and people laughed at me. You know what? Yeah, you're the first person that's ever been on YouTube and fucking embarrassed at what they were up there for.
Yeah, you know what you should have done? Kept your mouth shut, put it on America's Funniest Home Videos, and won $100,000.
Oh yeah, do they even still do that?
They do. Tom Bergeron, I think, is still rocking it out.
Oh my god.
Who do you like better?
I just had to change my pissed off list because of that.
Bob Saget or Tom Bergeron?
Oh, Bob Saget.
I don't know.
Bob Saget was the worst. At least that was. I didn't watch it for the videos because all it is fucking getting hit in the nuts, right? Or fucking face planting on something.
Or old people getting horribly hurt.
Yeah, exactly. I just liked it with Bob Saget because they just seemed to, when it was him, it was either his delivery or the fact that he's such a horrible comedian. They just fed him the worst, cheesiest fucking lines, and you could tell he just wanted somebody to shoot him while he was up there on stage. Bergerac just takes it in stride. It's like, nah. That's like if you want to go on a tangent off that. Who's been the best host so far? Fucking Family Feud. Louis Anderson, hands down for me, because it's so fucking uncomfortable when you watch him on there.
Not nearly as uncomfortable as the guy from Home Improvement.
Which is the guy that killed himself?
There's 3 of them that did, I think.
Because
the guy that killed himself was some blonde dude. Can't think.
If he had done it on the show, that would actually have been the best host.
Oh, fuck yeah, survey says, and then he jams the fucking pistol up under his chin and goes, pow!
Now, the best host was the guy who kissed everyone on the lips.
He'd be like, it said
Richard
top
Dawson?
5 most popular
Yeah.
foods. Why did you pick broccoli? I'm ending my life right now.
Richard Dawson was definitely the best host. I think for awkwardness, Richard Karn can't be beat. That was the guy from Home Improvement.
Right.
He was so horribly awkward. It was like cringeworthy.
I thought Louis was. He's awkward anyway, being that big and a semi-closeted homosexual, and just Louis. Except for the homosexual part, Louis Anderson. When I was 12, I was Louis Anderson. That's why I don't have any kind of compassion for anybody that gets picked on and cries about it.
Life with Louis is just a documentary on your.
I would say, you mean you were 8 years away from stardom?
Yeah, it's a quick meteoric rise and fall.
I guess we're done with my number.
Okay,
4.
my number 2. When you loan someone money or they owe you money, and you have to ask them to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
They won't bring it up. They'll never mention it, and you're like, okay, remember that time I loaned you $20 last week and you didn't Yeah,
Is that you're really going to put me in this awkward situation?
You're like, I don't really listen. I don't need $20 back. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it. But now you make me feel like a dick because I'm asking you for it, and you obviously don't have it now, and you're gonna have to ask you for it again. Thank you so much.
I'm that guy.
So we shouldn't loan you $20.
Just saying. Just saying right now. I'm the guy that borrowed the $20.
Yeah, I also don't like when it not just money, just other things too. Like they borrow a movie and it's been 18 months.
You're can I have that colostomy bag back? What in fuck's name could you possibly still be doing with it, man? It's been forever.
You're like, I don't even watch something about Mary anymore. Just give me the DVD back. It's my DVD. I shouldn't have to ask for it.
What if I want to watch it on a rainy day?
I just want to watch
Whoever
the best
does
of Ben
that.
Stiller.
whoever sits there, have you ever really sat down on a rainy day and watched a bunch of movies because it was a rainy day? Our saying around here, if it's a movie like, one that we've watched before, or one that's supposed to be maybe a psychological thriller or something that's thinking man funny, we call that a Sunday movie. Oh, that's a movie we'll sit around on Sunday, the lazy day, and watch that. And it doesn't fucking happen.
What's a thinking man's comedy?
Like
a not funny one?
I just watched one that I would classify. Well, anything done by the fucking Farley brothers,
The guys that released Dumb and Dumber?
No. It was or who did Fargo? I must be putting out the wrong brothers then.
Coen brothers.
Coen brothers. Thank you. Anything by the Coen brothers? Yeah, Farley. Yeah, there's something about Mary.
Dumb and Dumber, a thinking man's comedy.
No, what the hell was it I just watched? It had George Clooney in it and fucking. What was the name of that movie?
Don't say The Man Who Stared at Goats.
No, that blew. No, the one
that was terrible.
Burn After Reading.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. That's a Sunday. That was a Sunday movie. It sat on my shelf forever, and my boy and I watched it one night because we were just incredibly bored. And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like, wow, this movie has no moral redeeming value whatsoever. And it's very darkly funny. I enjoyed it.
I'm so torn on that movie. I thought everyone's performance was amazing, but I didn't really like the movie, and I don't know how that's possible.
It turned the corner for me when Brad Pitt got shot in the face.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, people. But
spoiler alert! If you haven't watched the movie,
fuck, did that really just happen?
Yeah, that was pretty. I thought it was like a 5 or on a scale of 10. I don't know. It was pretty decent, but it wasn't amazing. Right? It wasn't that great either.
Yeah, it was. You know what it was? It was a Sunday movie.
All right.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is anybody in any incarnation of Family Feud that would sit there and clap good answer when somebody gave a fucking horrible, obviously bad, retarded answer. When it's like top 5 foods people like to eat, and somebody would say sauerkraut because they're down to 2 strikes, and it's like, yeah, good answer. No, it's not. That's a horrible fucking answer. And you know what you're doing? You're just setting that person up to lose later on in life. You're setting yourself up to lose if you happen to do get through the big money round, because they just gave the shittiest fucking answer ever, and you just reinforce their behavior and tell them, oh, no, that's great, yeah, sauerkraut, greatest fucking food ever. Top 5 thing people like to eat. Number 1, give me the top 3 foods that people like to order when they go to see a movie. Chitlins. No. Well, maybe in some theaters.
Top 5 favorite websites for news information, and they're like YouPorn. You're like, oh, good answer, great. Good job, Dad.
Yeah, no shit. Good answer.
You could get lost on YouTube looking up stupid Family Feud answers. I got stuck for like 2 hours doing that one day.
Really?
Oh,
that's right. You do the Family Feud thing too. I completely forgot about that, man.
You do the Family Feud thing?
One of my favorite parts of the show, even.
Yeah, our Family Feud episodes where I make up ridiculous answers to real Family Feud questions, and you got to try and come up with the answer.
I think I was actually on one of the episodes doing that.
Yeah, I think you were. But, they're so good though.
What's your number 3?
Ever. Here's how far behind on YouTube I am. You know what I just finally saw? Somebody told me to watch, and I finally watched it, and I'm like, oh, that's funny.
Double Rainbow?
Would you look at that guy?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Just do a search on Would You Look at That Car, and he's got all sorts of stuff like that. And it's funny for about 3 or 4 minutes, but it's not bad.
There's like some videos there that just, I don't know. They get like millions and millions of hits, and I have no idea why.
That's why I kind of stay away from YouTube. It really does infuriate me, the amount of play. Well, what was the Thank God It's Friday song? I mean, you get your big fucking, you get a break, you get money, you get everything else for that. I bust my ass for probably 45, 50 minutes a week to put out a show. And that's the retainment I get.
The Look at This Guy car got like 4.5 million views on YouTube. Do you think this guy makes any money from this?
I guess you can.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a video on YouTube of an Asian girl who just stares into the camera for 30 seconds and then waves at the end, and she's got 9 million hits.
You know who all's viewing that? The same people that give you a fucking good answer for sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Those are the fucking viewers.
Do you guys want to hear my favorite?
We're the minority, boys. We're the minority. And it's not along racial lines or religious lines. It's along intelligence lines. And we are at the fucking bottom of the food chain now.
Do you think the writers for Arrested Development look at YouTube and see what's popular and just contemplate their suicide?
Yeah, definitely.
That the writers are freaking
started on that show. Don't even get me started on Arrested Development being canceled. That was one of the darkest moments in my television viewing history. Thank you, FX and fucking shit, for showing that. Or IFC shows it now.
Yeah,
and I go back and I'll catch it, and I'm like, God, this fucking show is just brilliant. Nobody got it.
They're like, we wanted to do a thinking man's brilliant comedy. I guess we should have just had an Asian girl staring at the TV screen. That would have been our perfect, highest rated show.
Exactly. We should have had Job just walk around going, wait, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Look at that.
I mean, Arrested Development, brilliant comedy. The highest rated show on television right now for 8 years in a row, karaoke.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
Could we have dumber shit on the air? It's karaoke and like an 8th grade dance contest. Those are the two most popular shows on television right now.
And Spoiled Rich Wives.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear my favorite?
Isn't that, or wasn't that a big one? 2.5 Men for the longest time.
Oh yeah, that's still the number one comedy on TV.
I've never seen an episode of it.
Don't.
Never.
It's not good.
Though
although I will drop a name. One of my good friends, whom I haven't seen in quite a while because he lives forever away now. But his godmother, growing up, because his mom and her were excellent friends in college and everything, is the fat old chick on 2.5 Men. I can't think of her name. She's been in every movie as a bit fucking character or cameo. The stepmom or the mom or whatever, the housekeeper, I don't know what the fuck she is on 2.5 Men, but yeah, that's his. I've actually seen all the photographic evidence of all this and shit.
Oh,
that's my only brush.
Probably pretty rich.
No, probably not. I would say because that's the thing. When you do bit parts like that, what do you just get paid scale?
I don't know.
When you live in someplace like Los Angeles or out on the East Coast where everything costs 200 times as much as anywhere else, you probably kind of have to take another job, I think.
I'm fairly certain if you have a recurring role on the most popular show on television for 10 straight years or popular comedy, you have a good $50 to $100 million.
Yeah, I think she's doing all right for herself.
No, I don't agree with that. I think that's a misconception.
That show has done wonders.
If they're paying the Jersey kids fucking $100,000 an episode, I might be wrong.
That show is in massive syndication. 2.5 Men, basically you never have to work again.
Yeah, she probably gets about 10,000 an episode plus a couple hundred every time it's on syndication. She's doing all right.
Probably gets a lot
she's
more.
Getting the residuals, then, huh?
Yeah, she probably gets amazing money in residuals. Probably gets a free check for $1 million every year in residuals.
I met this guy at a bar who was on what was that Disney movie it was like a Christmas computer animated movie. I don't know. It was a computer animated Christmas movie, and he did a voice for it. And his part actually got cut out of the final cut, but since he ends up in the final credits, he still gets residuals every time it's shown, and it's shown every single Christmas. And he said he gets checks for $500, $1,000, $1,500, just periodically throughout the year. And his part isn't even in the final cut of the movie. So what I'm saying is, you're doing it right if you're on the most popular show on TV.
I guess I stand corrected. Which brings me to my third thing that I'm most pissed off.
Wait, before you do your third, I want to play you my favorite response on a Family Feud question.
Okay. Remind everyone of Hurlitz's answers. Relax. 25 seconds on the clock. Clock will start after I read the first question.
This is Richard Karn, the most awkward host, by the way.
Tell me the age when even someone with good vision might need reading glasses. 35. Tell me the man's name that starts with the letter K.
A man's name that starts with the letter K.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes, that really happened.
Wow.
That's better than the newlywed in the butt. That's
I'm
my new favorite right there.
I'm assuming you can guess who said that. By the way,
I was gonna say probably like you go to his high school though. Like growing up, probably like 6 kids named Kentucky Fried Chicken. He's like, it was the most popular name in my school.
No, that actually they'd all be named churches and Popeyes if we're going to go down that particular road.
Jay, what's your number 3 of most of the things that annoy you?
my number 3 is when somebody will text you something, and your response is going to be a little bit too long, so you call them up, and they don't answer the phone. So they're basically like will only respond to you via text.
Oh, you mean you get a text from them and you don't feel like responding on a text, so you call them?
Like 30 seconds later, so you know the phone is still in their hand.
And then you're like, fuck it, now I have to write the text message to them.
Well, that's when I just leave a voicemail saying call me back. I refuse to even tell them what I was going to say.
And then they text you, I just got your voicemail.
I'll sit here and spend 20 minutes trying to text this to you and fucking fall in a fountain.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't pick up your goddamn phone.
I've actually had people, when I hung up, text me back like, what'd you want?
I've had it happen many, many a time.
Yeah, have you ever thought that maybe the person that's texting you is now underwater in a fountain? That's why she can't pick up?
All right, number 3, Mark?
Yes. I hate people that have no regard for time. They're like, I'm going to meet you there at 3. And they get there at like 3:30, 3:40, and they're like, what? I mean, I got there, what? Oh, I have to be there right on time for you. I'm like, I got here 10 minutes early. I've been here for 40 fucking minutes because you're an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
They're like, we should know I'm always late, dude.
You should have expected
set yourself up with the excuse.
Yes.
No, I'm one of those special people. I just got a problem being on time. You're going to have to accept me as I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm special. I mean, like, my whole family's got killed in a car accident. That's why I'm late. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm special.
Yeah, because you know what? They were in a rush to be on time, man. Fuck you. All right?
And
Fuck you for making fun of my dead family, man.
Yeah, and I got Down syndrome. I can't even tell time. That's why I'm late. Leave me alone.
I have the biggest fucking watch you've ever seen in your life. And it's only got one number on it.
Do you think you get really annoyed if you're going to meet like Flavor Flav and he gets there late?
You know what? You go to meet Flavor Flav, he's got that giant fucking watch and everything on. They don't show him real close up in the face because then you see his slanted eyes.
I think if you're waiting for Flavor Flav, then you have more problems than worrying about if he's late.
He's like, I didn't know what time it was. You have that giant clock. Oh, right. I forgot to put batteries in there.
It's like I'm waiting in line to see a retarded crackhead scream his name in the first person.
And when do you let the accessory go? Seriously.
Do you think Flavor Flav adjusts his clock for different time zones? Like he's like flying somewhere?
Do you think he even knows that there's time zones? I think he has somebody else set the clock for him. I really think he's retarded.
Has anybody ever actually checked to see if Flavor Flav's clock keeps real time? Have you ever been watching him and checked your watch and be like, oh, he's lucky? Like if he was doing a concert out there in New York. Have you ever seen him and been like, oh, fuck, yeah. I set my watch by Flavor Flav. Haven't you ever been to FlavorFlav.com? It's his fucking clock up there, and you can set your sets. It's within, I think it might lose 0.8 seconds a year.
I always wondered why he didn't do like a fallback spring forward concert.
Why don't they just have him drop in Times Square on New Year's?
Yeah, exactly.
I say we push for that. Let's put his head in that goddamn watch of his, and we'll drop that instead of the ball.
I always thought you should have something that tells the day of the week on its ass. It's 5:30, but like, what day is it? Turn around, bend over. Yeah, that's right, Monday.
We got to do month date and time. Yeah, month and date.
Okay, what's yours? Number 3, John.
My number 3 thing of all time that pisses me off is, you know what? It's actually anybody who asks me a fucking question that's an opinion-based question, somebody asks me what my fucking opinion about something is when they already know what they want the answer to be, my answer is not the fucking same as theirs, and they're like, and they just totally dismiss what I say. Or they say, oh, yeah, okay, and then they go on with what their fucking answer is. Nothing irritates me more. Don't waste my time. Don't fucking ask me that. Don't ask me if you already got an answer that you want.
Like, John, how do you feel about the act of abortion, the killing of babies?
Right. I'm completely for what any woman wants to do because it's not my choice.
I also don't like when they're like, what should I do, option A or option B? And you give them your opinion, and then they do the other one. It's like, well, why'd you
Yeah, because they just wanted verification of it. They just wanted you to validate and then you don't, and then it's like, man. Or people who get pissed. People who ask you a question and you give them an answer, and they get pissed about your fucking answer. Why did you ask me?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what's great to do if you want to be a dick? You go in a restaurant, you ask the waitress, like, should I get the chicken or the fish? It's like, the chicken's really good. Okay, I'll take the fish.
Yeah. You look like you have horrible taste in food.
If you want to have fun with it, I use a Homer Simpson line. And I've done this before and had a waitress so fucking confused she brought a manager over. If you think Illinois is rural. If you think Illinois is rural, we went up to extreme northern Wisconsin on vacation. And we went in for breakfast, and the waitress came up, and she's taking our order and everything, and I looked at her, and this is a Homer Simpson line, so I'm not going to say that it's mine, but I did use it, and I was like, you'll take a post-dated third-party out-of-state check, right? And she looked at me for a minute and kind of gave like a confused grin, and then 2 minutes later, the manager's at the table. Is there some sort of problem or payment? And yeah, it was awesome. My wife hated my guts. Everybody was embarrassed, but I was in heaven. I'm like, look, I got attention.
Nice.
You're like, she earns $3.50 an hour. Thanks for making her life worse.
Hey, you know what? You're going to take away from my number. I know what my number. No, we won't get into my number 2 yet. We're still on number 2.
Jay, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is probably 90% of people in New York are guilty of it, and it is honking at everything. So basically, you're stuck in a traffic jam, and there's clearly 17 cars in front of you, and there's a red light, and the guy behind you is honking. And I don't know, I just don't get what the point of that is. And
I kind of want to learn Morse code and like do that with honking. For people to know what's going. Like, I'm just saying, like, how are you doing? But like, honk it out.
It's like the one smart guy on the block gets it and starts laughing.
Yeah.
But no, people do that for everything though. Like, the light turns green and you're actually moving, but you're not accelerating fast enough, and people honk. Or it's just that people honk at everything, and it's, I got honked at today because I was crossing through a crosswalk while I had the walk signal, but I guess the guy wanted to turn and got angry, so honked at me.
I always thought there should be 2 honking things in your car. One to say excuse me, and one to say you're an asshole. Because it's just interesting to see how people use that also.
I've said it before. I just think you should get 3 a day.
3 honks a day?
Yeah.
I think that's even excessive.
How
about this, from a country perspective? How about you all realize you live in a place that's going to have fucking traffic and you get over it?
Yeah,
Plan ahead. I'm going to have to leave a fucking hour earlier. It's rush hour. Especially because I'm assuming I spent a little time in populated areas, and I can see how scariest DC. Oh my fucking god! But I can understand. It's hot. It's this or that. It's fucking shitty. But Jesus Christ, most of the people who are guilty of what you're talking about are people who make that same fucking drive every day.
Yeah, exactly. They know what they're in for. It's just like I guess it's a frustration button, but
no, it's that they feel like they're allowed. They feel like I'm stuck in traffic, so I'm special. I'm special. I'm stuck, so I got to get this anger out. And fuck that. I think they had to put like an airbag, a little tiny airbag in a horn of people's cars, and it's got a fucking 6-inch fucking blade in it. And it can go off at any time when you honk your horn. So you want to lay on that horn, that's fine, but there's kind of that Russian roulette chance that you might get your fucking hand stabbed clean through while you're doing it.
Oh, you honked the horn at the wrong time and you got shot in the head.
Yeah, exactly. You picked the wrong time. It's like, oh, why did I fucking honk at the girls? Oh, God damn it.
Well, is it okay, though, if you honk, but you're special, and that's why you're honking?
No, because that's why people do honk. They think they're special. They're like, I'm in my hurry that I'm in is way more special than yours. Honk, honk. Get the fuck out of the way. Honk, honk.
What if terrible things have happened to you in your life? Does that give you a right to honk?
Only if you were fucking raped by a mute clown.
It's like, I had measles for 2 months in 5th grade.
Yeah. If you were raped by Cookie the Clown, then you can have the whole honking thing, all right? I'll make that concession. If he sat there and blared that thing in your ear the whole time he was pounding your poor, sore little bottom, then yes, you can get angry and honk your horn in traffic.
Those people make me want to reenact falling down with the bazooka, only
yes.
Shoot that at the guy who's honking.
Falling Down's a movie. If you ended it like 25 minutes early, it would have been one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah. I don't need my movies to have like... I don't need my movies to have like a redeeming value at the end. Like,
if that movie just ends with him being successfully killing people and just like getting pissed off at everyone, that was it. You'd be like, oh, that was fantastic. That's actually how I feel.
Well, you rooted for him until the end. Then they made him all of a sudden, then boom, he is the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to switch tracks real quick, but just real quick, I just want to ask you guys a personal thing here because Falling Down makes me think of Robert Duvall. Have you seen the movie Get Low?
No.
Never even heard of it.
I've heard the horrible rap song Get Low.
It's a Sunday movie, but it's a goddamn good movie. Anyway,
is it a thinking man's comedy?
No. It's just one of those. It's one of those movies that you watch and you're just like, you know what? You get done with it and you're like, wow, I really fucking enjoyed that, and you're really surprised that you did.
What's it about?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it any justice. It's about a fella that feels guilty about something that happened early in his life, and he turns into this curmudgeonly old guy who's lived by himself in the woods in a fucking cabin for 40 years, and it's set in like the early 30s. But it's got this great ensemble cast with Bill Murray and fucking Robert Duvall, and it's a great movie. It's Get Low. It was Jeffrey Lyons put it on his list of movies that people just don't know about and they really should see, and that's why I ended up watching because I love Jeffrey Lyons.
Are you reading your review on Netflix of this movie?
No. Just because
Jeffrey Lyons said it's one of the top 10 Sunday movies around.
Well, that's how I know that because that's how my wife pitched it to me. Because she's like, I got Get Low. I'm like, what the fuck is that? She's like, it's Robert Duvall and it's a drama. And I'm like, yay, Sunday movie. and she's like, well, Jeffrey Lyons has it on his list of, and that's how I remember that.
It's Robert Duvall and Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, Sissy Spacek's in it. It's just real. I mean, honestly, it's just if you want to see a movie, and Bill Murray, who is, I don't know if Bill Murray really is the huge prick that he pretends to be, or if he really is like he is. But in this movie, Bill Murray's got a great performance in this movie, and sometimes he can be over the top. One of my favorite what's his face's fight. I love the Royal Tenenbaums, but I can't stand Bill Murray's character in it. But in this one, Bill Murray he plays it just right. Although my best Bill Murray line in any movie was Zombieland when he was asked if he had any regrets, and he said
Garfield.
Garfield, maybe. Yeah, that was good.
So good.
If a fan can do that, then you got to wonder: is he really as big a prick as he plays, or is he just doing that all for himself?
Do you consider Get Low a deft blend of dark humor and poignancy?
Do they use the word poignancy?
This is the description on Netflix.
Are you reading Leonard Maltin's blog?
I've yet to have one. Have either of you ever had a poignant moment?
I don't even know what deft actually means.
I don't know what poignant means. So
the hayseed sitting here with God damn.
I don't know how to use any of these words. I couldn't use half these words in a sentence without actually repeating the exact sentence I just heard.
What's poignant?
Ain't that them pigs eat them black people eat?
You think this guy, he wrote the review, he was just like... You think this guy's just sitting there with the thesaurus being like, I gotta sound smart?
No. Hey, here's how smart I am. I'm fucking barefoot in a pair of Green Bay Packer pajama pants and a tore the fuck up black T-shirt celebrating Cinco de Mayo, sitting on my front fucking porch getting ate up by bugs in my 9-inch tall grass watching the fucking trains go by, drinking fucking Old Milwaukee.
You missed Cinco de Mayo by a couple weeks. I noticed this also on Netflix. So it says the average of 303,000 ratings was 3.6 stars, but our best guess for Mark is 2.2 stars.
That
So
means you like
Netflix,
dumb comedies.
Netflix doesn't think I like a deft blend of dark humor and poignancy.
No, Netflix is just anti-Jeffrey Lyons.
I don't know. Netflix just knows. Maybe they know me better. They know
It's widely well known that Netflix is anti-Semitic.
Under it says, we recommend Big Mama's House.
No, it doesn't. But it should, because that's real life there.
It says here if I end Schindler's List. It says here if I end Schindler's List about an hour early, it's a really positive movie.
Never seen Schindler's List, but I heard it was a howl.
It's actually a deft blend of not dark humor.
Yeah. Isn't Schindler's List, isn't it like the prequel to Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, I think so.
It wasn't the prequel to that movie Up. So,
Mark, what's your number 2?
Is Ed Asner Jewish?
Is he in Hollywood? He's probably Jewish.
No, he could be.
I don't know. Let's check his penis.
Yeah, see if he is. Let's see if I got to put him on the list or not.
My number 2 is people that can't commit to a plan. They're like, they keep going like, yeah, let's get together, let's hang out. You're like, how about next Thursday? Yeah, maybe. Let's talk about it on Thursday. You're like, just tell me now. Yeah, no, I don't know. Lots going on. Then you're like in the middle of the day, you're like, okay, are you down for later? Yeah, I might be down. I might be there.
Yeah,
are you going to hit the bar or not? Just tell me.
I also don't like when they always blame you. It's like, we never hang out anymore. It's like, well, let's hang out this weekend. Well, I can't hang out this weekend. Let's hang out next weekend. Well, I'm busy the next weekend. This is why we don't hang out.
Yeah, I feel like we never talk anymore. I know, because you're really annoying and you never want to, like, you can never get you on the phone, so.
Remember the 5 voicemails I left and you didn't return them? Yeah.
Wow, you two can really take a hint.
Yeah, maybe people just hate us. I don't know.
I don't mean to. I'm sorry. Don't want to bust any bubbles. But yeah, wow. That's I guess being the little fat picked on kid, I learned a long time ago when it's like, yeah, I can't really right now. Well, I'll give you a call. They don't fucking call.
Yeah,
we're all going to go out this weekend, and you happen to overhear it, and they don't want to hurt your little fat feelings, so they're like, oh yeah, you can come. You don't ever see them. They never come by. You sit there and you watch the headlights from the cars turn, and you hope that they turn into your driveway, and they never fucking do, and you just sit there until you know it's way past where they never show up, but you keep holding out hope. Anyway, who's next?
That's you.
Are there a lot of cars that pass by your house?
Not out here. I'm not 12 anymore either.
You're like, it's weird. All my 12-year-old friends are driving, and they're driving by me. Damn.
No, I've noticed it because I do that to people. It's like if it's somebody that you don't really want to hang out with, they're like, yeah, we should do something. It's like, yeah, we should, man. I'll get a hold of it or give me a call.
Yeah, it's also like
because I'm one of those people that I hate. I don't have the balls to just be like, no, I don't want to fucking do anything with you. Quit fucking asking them.
Yeah, you run into someone for like you haven't seen since college, and you kind of hung out with them in college, but you don't really give a shit about hanging out with them again. And they're like, yeah, we should totally get drinks sometime. That's a great idea. When? Oh, yeah, sometime.
Exactly. And life would be so much simpler if you could just be straight and be like, yeah, no, I don't really think so. I haven't seen you forever. You were kind of a douche back then. I mean, you were cool, but, you know, the douchey cool guy.
Is it my turn?
No, it's John.
Oh,
okay. Number 2.
Is this number 2?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, here's something that pisses me off. People who get mad at you. You brought up waitresses earlier. People who get angry at you if you don't fucking tip. And then tell you, they only work for $3 and they work for 12 cents a fucking hour. Then they should get a different fucking job. And I know that's an old fucking argument, but it's the goddamn truth. There are other jobs out there besides waitressing. And guess what? If people quit waitressing for fucking 12 cents a goddamn hour, they'd fucking start paying them more to get people in there to fucking work. So I don't want to hear it. If I've only got $5 to go in and eat a $4.50 fucking meal with tax That's going to be about $5. I'm going to eat that meal and walk out without leaving a tip, and I shouldn't have to feel guilty or like some fucking dirtbag because I gypped some single mom out of her fucking beer money for the weekend.
So you're saying you don't tip normally?
No, you know what? If I've got the money on me, I will. But the town that we're outside of is a very small town. It's got like 2,600 people in it, right? And we're new to the area. And we went up to this fucking cafe for breakfast, the wife and I, a few weeks back. And and it was shit. It was absolute fucking shit. I mean, it was a horrible, horrible fucking breakfast. It was terrible. I wouldn't have tipped anywhere else. But, you know, we are the new people. Well, we're in there, and I had just enough to cover the bill. So we paid, and she even made some noise up at the cash register, like, well, can you get some change? And I'm like, no. We got outside, and she's like, so you didn't leave a tip? I'm like, no. And these were her exact words. I'm not making fun of her, but this is how deeply it's ingrained into us. Her exact words were, great. We can never show our faces there again. And I'm like, why the fuck would you go back? Her fucking, she usually gets the same fucking thing. She either gets fucking waffles or she gets biscuits and gravy, but always she gets a side of sausage links. 2 of the sausage links were inedible, as in, she's like, I bit into one, and I thought I was going to chip my tooth. The next one had a real sour taste to it, because that's how I like my sausage, sour. But I was able to choke the third one down. And yeah, because I didn't tip up there where everybody knows this, and this fucking single mom in there who fucking, you know, I'm sorry you fucking let the guy come in you instead of fucking making him pull out. Why do I got to tip for that? Why do I got to be embarrassed to ever go back? Because you served me a shit meal. Fuck that.
Well, yeah. Food aside, it's based on service. It's not like a right.
Yeah, and people think it's a gimme now. If you don't tip, it's like you're a douchebag.
Yeah, I've had people like
up there where you guys are at, because I mean that's like a big thing. You guys probably eat out way more than I ever do.
Yeah.
Do you ever tell the waitress, here's my tip for you. Don't let any losers come inside you. Hope it helps.
Yes, exactly. Quit letting them come inside you. Blow them. Blow them every once in a while, all right?
Take it from behind. You'll never have to have a tip.
Or it's just like, how about come over in less than a half hour to take my order, and then maybe show up once throughout the meal to refill my goddamn order.
Or here's a tip for you. Get Low with Robert Duvall. It's an excellent Sunday movie. You should check it out.
It's deft and poignant. Unlike your service. I'd tip for deft and poignant service. No, I really do. You know, if we're talking about really being pissed, I've gotten into fights with people over this. Big fucking arguments. Big arguments with my wife over this. Because it's so ingrained. Oh, God, you got to tip or you're just a huge douche. No, I'm not. I'm not a huge douche. Like I said, how is it that the rest of the industrialized fucking world unionized at one point and was able to get a fucking living wage, but waitresses and waitstaff couldn't? The cooks get a fucking living wage. But you're a waitress, so you accept that, well, I get paid less than the minimum, but I get tips. That's the biggest fucking crock of shit ever. If you're that stupid to buy into that fucking deal when you start a job, you get what you get. That's you're throwing that crap shoot, dummy.
That's a good point.
I do kind of, they do like in other countries, like in Europe, the general like continent, I guess, they don't use the tipping system and they just pay the waitresses or waiters a normal wage. And the argument against that always is, well, we get better service here in the U.S. And then you're like, have you been to any restaurant in the U.S.? Because most of the time the service sucks here also, and we still have to tip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And, the places that really bug my ass, the ones that take the fucking tip. Like, there's a 15% gratuity added into your fucking bill.
Yeah.
And then half the time at those places, they'll look at you like a douche if you don't throw some fucking cash on the table.
No, yeah. Like, I can't believe Denny's has the policy of party of 2 or more where you include an 18% gratuity.
I know, man. Although, seriously, you know what? I'll give Denny's a buy because Denny's has saved my drunk ass so many times and my hungover ass. It's the worst goddamn food ever. But, yeah, there's a special place for Denny's in my heart.
Do you think anyone, like, ever, like, complains about the food at Denny's and they're like, do you know where you are?
Exactly. That's you're fucking Denny's, stupid. Well, just like up there.
My waffles weren't quite, they weren't so juicy. You're at fucking Denny's. We'll give you a free Grand Slam if you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're getting served by people who make less than minimum wage, and some douchebag was just in there before you that didn't tip.
Jay, what's your number one?
My number one are people who either say they have a good sense of humor or think that they're funny, and all they do is repeat pop culture references. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, everyone who said winning for the last 3 months.
I know.
It's just repeating something that somebody else said doesn't make you funny, and it doesn't mean like you're this really cool, wacky person.
Well, that actually goes back to your hatred of the last few episodes or the last few seasons of The Simpsons, right? Because that's all The Simpsons has become.
Yeah. Oh, they do it to themselves. Yeah.
You said the last few seasons, then the last 10 seasons. It went from the funniest show on television to one of the worst shows on television.
I feel like we have to mention that like at least once an episode.
You know what I was just thinking? I didn't. This is not on my list, but you just made me think about like in the same regard, like people that like don't have real sense of humors. When comedians will say some joke to try to be like outrageous, and then the audience won't laugh because the joke wasn't funny at all, and then they'll be like, "Oh, everyone's here too conservative. They don't laugh at my jokes."
Yeah, you're too uptight.
Your butt's too clenched too tight. That's why you didn't laugh at my joke about the Nazi having AIDS. And you're like, no, we'd laugh. We just used something that was funny or clever, and not just say curses to be funny.
I want to hear the joke about the Nazi having AIDS. I really do. You've piqued my curiosity because it sounds to me like it would be a deft yet poignant joke that you could craft about AIDS-riddled Nazis. Ooh, did you hear my Nazi dogs?
Sure did. Mark, what do you got?
So my number one would be when you go to group dinners, and when the time comes for the bill always like, and everyone you collect the money, and you're always like $120 short, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I threw in everything.
Yeah, I have one buddy who just does not understand the concept of tax and tip. When it's $25, he'll throw in $26 and then go out for a smoke. So when you find out you're like, $20 short, he's nowhere to be found.
Or when you're like, okay, we're all splitting this. Okay. Oh, if we're all splitting this, I'll take 2 more margaritas.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I'm the guy you guys are always bitching about, so I can't really. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. That's how I save money.
Listen,
that I don't pay back to anyone.
I only have $20. I ordered $30 worth of stuff. You're just getting $20. That's it.
John just combines them all. John's like, yeah, I don't like tipping, and I'm going to not pay enough when we go out, and I'm going to borrow $20 when we go out to eat, and then I'm going to honk at you guys while we leave the parking lot.
He's like, all the things that annoy you,
now, wait a minute.
I actually do them all.
It's not that I don't like tipping. It's that I don't like that if you don't leave a tip, you're a fucking instant asshole.
I think
what? If I was sitting at a table eating the exact same meal as Hitler, and Hitler's sitting at the table right next to me, and he leaves $5 behind, and I walk out and don't leave it, guess who's the dick? Not the fucking Mr. Genocide, kill the Jews, and fucking take the whole world almost straight to hell. No, it's me for not leaving some fucking single mom fucking $5.
Well, the thing with Hitler, just to be fair, he is special because he's got AIDS. So
yeah, that's right. He's one of those.
He's the Nazi with AIDS. That's the Nazi with AIDS joke. Thank you.
Yes, there we go.
God, you guys aren't laughing. You guys are too conservative.
Well, it was kind of like it was a Sunday joke.
It was a Sunday joke.
It was very.
You got AIDS on Sunday.
It was a thinking man's joke.
What's your number one, John? I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. This is going long, so.
Oh God, my number one thing that pisses me off. I ran out after 4. That's horrible. I guess the one thing that pisses me off more than anything else is
This is gonna be really good since you didn't think of it.
Yeah, since I have to just think it up right now.
My number one reason is my number one thing that annoys me is when people ask me for 5 things that annoy me. Why does it have to be 5? Why can't it be 4? I only have 4 things that annoy me.
My number one is people who think of 4 things for a top 5.
The number one thing that actually pisses me off more than anything else, and here, let's see if we can make this funny, because if there's one thing that I truly get pissed off about, and this is something I run into and stand. Okay, here's my number one thing that I get pissed I've got it. It came to me. I'm not going to bring the show down on a on a horrible note. You got saved by a last minute thought. What I hate is anybody from any side of anything that doesn't understand that they're just like the people they hate. Okay, for example, Christians and non-Christians. Guess what? If you're both screaming at each other at the top of your lungs, you're the same fucking douchebag, all right? You can be an evangelical douchebag atheist just as easy as you can be a fucking evangelical douchebag Christian. Republicans and Democrats, it's all the same fucking side of the coin. And what pisses me off so much is that people will not admit, and this is my number one reason, people will not admit to being fooled, okay? Because you can sit there, you're Republican or you're Democrat, and scream about the other side, or you can realize, hey, we're all sitting here screaming, and we're getting fucked. But the only way that you can do that is to admit that you got fooled. You were screaming all your rhetoric. You were thinking that the other side was bad. You were thinking they were any different than you because you got fooled, and people don't ever want to do that. It's not admitting you're wrong. Admitting you're wrong is not hard. It's admitting that you got fooled.
Hang on, just
Religion,
to sum
politics, anything else.
To sum up your rant, you mean you don't like hypocrites?
It's not even a matter of being a hypocrite, really. It's just because you know this. If you're on one side of a religious argument or a political argument, or like abortion or something, you're never going to win. If you're on one side and the other person is the polar opposite of you, you're never going to win that argument. But the people that continue to just sit there and butt fucking heads against each other over it, thinking they're going to change the other side's mind, all douchebags, and that does piss me off.
I can sell the abortion debate. You have to go down the middle. Something that like makes both sides happy.
Like
so
what?
One side likes killing babies.
Mm-hmm.
One side is very religious. They want the best thing for babies. Well, wouldn't you think the best thing for babies is getting them to heaven? And wouldn't the best way to wouldn't the best way to get that baby to heaven is, I guess, killing it before it can do anything bad. So like being pro-abortion actually solves both problems.
You should be president, sir.
I take, as far
and that's
as
why the
abortion
second.
goes, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's why the Second Amendment's a great thing. It'll help get babies to heaven.
See, I take Jason's horn honking take on abortion. I think everybody should get 3. But past 3, you're just being a whore. Make them pull out or put on a fucking condom or something. All right?
Yeah, figure it out.
It's not yeah. You get pregnant after 3 times. If you're still fucking pregnant, you don't want one. Fucking suck his dick or something.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I talk about
it really does. That pisses me off. People I run into it constantly. People about the death penalty and shit like that. Just people that'll just sit and scream at each other, and there's never going to be any kind of end to it. And it's because neither side can admit, maybe we got fooled about this. Maybe we're sitting here arguing about shit that nobody else that actually makes the rules is thinking about, and they're getting by with whatever the fuck they want to do.
Again, I can settle this argument also. I can settle the death penalty by using wisdom from The Simpsons. Kill them all and let God sort them out.
That's right. One of my favorites is just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand.
Talking about sticking to your guns and not admitting you were fooled, I was in Times Square over the weekend, and people were still handing out Rapture flyers. And they changed the date to soon. It was like a movie trailer, like coming soon. It's like
we had premature rapture.
Yeah, well now it's like extra scary because it could happen at any moment. Or
you know what? I'm pretty much not worried. Planes don't fly over my place, so the pilot fucking disappears. It's not going to come down here. The trains and shit. Somebody fucking it's going to go into the field. I'm pretty much safe because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be raptured. Because here's a nice high point. I'm one of those people that believes when you die, you're fucking dead, and that's it. So why are you fucking worrying about all this other shit when you should just be living?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. My question is, since you have satellite internet and your nearest neighbor is about 3 miles away, would you even know if there was a rapture?
Well, yeah. I mean, we do have TV.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And I have my Nazi dogs. They'd start barking as soon as Angel showed up.
All right, so that was our top 5 things.
That was our top 5.
It took about 79 minutes, but we got through it.
Yes.
So, do we have anything else, or do we want to say goodbye?
I'd like to thank you for having me on, Jason. It's been a while. I needed this.
Yeah, it was good hearing
a
from you.
boost, a jump start to move my old gas stove out of the laundry room and set up shop.
Yeah, let me know when you're back.
It will
in
be
action.
me solo as well. I didn't know if I brought that up. It'll be me. There'll be no more Andy.
What happened to the other host?
It's a long story, and talking about it might actually get me sued, so I can't say anything.
Is it a tragic story?
No, it's actually just a mundane, fucking everyday bullshit story that I can't even think to make funny.
Did he think he was special?
Yeah, actually, that's.
You're like, actually, the entire time I'm talking about him. He was my waiter at Denny's. He's an asshole. He's not getting a tip. He's never doing the show again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, all of my anger in this segment this evening? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might as well just intersperse that word with, actually, I don't want to use his name, so we'll just say Bandy.
Yes. Bandy or Randy.
Or Grandy. And how's that, what, did you have Clementine vodka?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Bringing it all back.
Yeah, I had Clementine vodka with raspberry seltzer. Very, very gay today.
You wanna hear how redneck I am right now?
Sure. Did you pee in another can?
Are you reading a Jeff Foxworthy book?
No. I'm in the process of trying to get myself fired for a dumb reason, so I can draw unemployment.
Well, what do you do?
Huh?
Yeah, don't you have like a weird job? Like, don't you drive like a tractor?
It's a crazy ass job that has become incredibly fucking insane. And I'm about to break away from it and find my way back into at least the sane world.
What do you do
right now? I work on a farm.
There's actually nothing crazy at all about that.
On that farm, we have some cows. Yeah.
So what do you actually do? What's so crazy about your job?
Operate a lot of heavy machinery, believe it or not. We don't really have that much livestock anymore. So a lot of heavy machinery operation and stuff like that, just taking care of stuff and mowing right now.
You know you're not allowed to do that stuff after you take diet Tylenol PM or cold medicine.
I'm actually I actually have spent many an episode, last few episodes that I did do, bitching about the fact that I can't use any chemicals. I'm strictly beer, which hopefully will change. But I'm good enough to get another job now. So I can't cover whatever I have to do. And then after that, it's on.
So you think in this
anybody out east there, if you want to get the hayseed all fucked up, you can contact me, Jon, Jon, at randommassradio.com, and we'll work something out. Stay in school, kids. Don't do that.
All right, so listen to Jon, randommassradio.com. And
look for the blog coming soon. I'm back to writing. So I've actually written some stuff. I'd appreciate the feedback. You can check that out. That will be out probably, I would say, by Saturday. It would be up Saturday.
I was gonna say, this show could not be a better advertisement for staying in school.
Oh, yeah, and since I am talking to you, I was going to, since I'm busting all the equipment out, I'm going to be spending much more, like, personal time instead of hurrying to do a live show and going through all that bullshit. I'm going to be doing a lot of studio stuff here in Laundry Room Studios. And if you'd like me to, I would love to do a promo for you like I did for Mr. Cliff. If there's a specific thing you would like to advertise, whether it just be the website or the show or whatever, I would put one together for you.
Yeah, I'd love that. I thought the one he did for Stephen Cliff show, it came out really good.
Yeah. He just wanted to push his forum, but I noticed she finally made the fucking leap to WordPress. Yeah,
I like it a lot better, and
it's a lot easier to fucking handle.
So speaking of writing, we've been doing that too. We started 1001 Rants. So
I know I've been following that. That's good shit, man.
Thank you. Yeah, we got a ways to go, but we're getting there.
Yeah. So if you've got something you'd like to push, just shoot me a message, man, and I'll put something completely retarded together for you.
All right. So, we'll be back soon. Shoot us an email, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. You could give us a call, 631-676-1181. And go to brinkofsanityshow.com, like us on Facebook, and give us a positive review on iTunes, not a nasty one, you bitch. And, and I guess that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.